Over 7 years, GT Academy has taken the best gamers from around the world and transformed them into professional racing drivers. Winners have gone from virtual to reality, competing around the globe, winning podiums and racing in the top class of the biggest races on the planet. The Racing Experiment has gone on to be the most innovative driver development program in the world and has embraced gamers from over 30 countries worldwide, producing more winners than ever. For there have been errors, crashes and failures. For every podium, there have been retirements. Not every winner at GT Academy has made the grade. This year, to make sure they succeed, we'll follow the team as GT Academy goes back to basics. 56 of the fastest Gran Turismo players have come to GT Academy Race Camp in Abu Dhabi to battle it out for a professional racing contract. To progress through the competition, they must show the judges they have a high level of medical, physical and psychological fitness, as well as the competitive edge required to become a racing driver.
A high level of mental strength is fundamentally important. It's one of the core ingredients of any successful racing driver.
Motorsport is all about the desire to win and about competitive spirit, if you like. You know, it just simply wouldn't exist without that.
One of the great things we're seeing here is the hunger of the guys. They've been gaming in their bedrooms. They've made it to this stage. That's been a huge achievement to get here. And they're hungry now to go forwards. And I think that will carry them a long way. That, combined with the gaming skills that they've learned, is a very powerful combination.
For a career as a racing driver, even the guys with peak physical fitness will not perform 100% if they are not mentally prepared.
I don't think you can teach competitive edge. I think it's part of who you are.
Come on! Yes!
Some people have it, some people don't have it, but it's hard to explain if you have it why it's so important.
The Wadi Survival Challenge is an extreme fitness test in the foothills of the Jebel Hafid mountain. It aims to identify which of the gamers are both physically and mentally strong.
Guys, good morning. You've come a long way, but for some of you, this is where the dream will end. Racing drivers have to be physically fit, but more so, this challenge will test your commitment and your will. Show us how badly you want this. Let's go, guys. So a racing driver has to be physically fit, but this challenge is much more about seeing their level of determination and willpower. We're looking at how they push themselves when ultimately they maybe fear everything is lost. 3, 2, 1, go!
The competitors need to put everything they have into the challenge, as the bottom 2 from each nation will be eliminated from race camp.
The mental aspect today is crucial. In this heat, with the added pressure that their dream could be over today, will make that extra bit of difference. I know from racing in Formula 1 that you can add an extra 20 beats per minute by just concentrating. With the added pressure by going home, it will be nice to see who's got the stronger mentality.
Physically, this will be the hardest thing they've ever done. Given the ambient heat, the nature of the activity, we've got all the ingredients of a brilliant duathlon. It's going to be fascinating to see how the guys get on.
They just have to focus on their own race, keep their heart rate as low as possible, focus on the next thing they're going to have to attack and cut everything out. It's exactly what you have to do when you're on the racetrack. As soon as you start thinking about cars in front or behind, you end up slowing down.
There's probably about 50% of the guys that are going to be okay, 25% of the guys who I think are going to struggle, another quarter who I think are going to find this incredibly difficult.
At the finish line, you have 6 helmets. There are 8 per team, which means the 2 last are evicted from the competition. That's a proper challenge.
I think that's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I had to keep focusing on my breathing. Luckily, I made it. The whole way through was just a mental game for me more than a physical one. I kept telling myself, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, and I just kept going. Somehow I found some reserve in me. I managed to make it through to the next round, so I'm very, very happy.
Super quick! It was quite tough, actually, yeah. This is the only thing I've ever wanted for. I have to give everything every second I'm here. I want it so badly.
Mentally it's very tough because I was one of the last after the running, so I have to motivate me on the swimming part. Yeah, I'm very happy about that.
I'm very, very proud. First of all, I thought they're not that strong, but they are strong. Mentally, physically, I'm proud.
I was really shocked by the outcome, to be honest. Oh my God, he's absolutely bonked. I was expecting one of our guys to probably win the thing overall and definitely win our group, and that was Ed. And he took a really bad way halfway through. We had to get the ambulances over, had to help carry him over, and he was in a bad way. We got the trips in both arms, so that was a real shock. But some of the people I thought would do well didn't do particularly well, and some others who I didn't think had the fitness. I don't think they still have the fitness, but they have really strong mental approach to things, and that's a huge part of motor racing.
Along with their mental strength, the gamers must be declared medically fit, not only to take part in race camp, but also to go forward as a race driver should they win.
For these guys, we need to make sure that they are medically and physically fit to actually be a race driver. There are national and international regulations that drivers have to adhere to, and a lot of it is to do with safety. It's the safety of the guy that is driving, but also for the safety of everybody else around them. The whole idea of the competition is we're looking for a driver that will be racing at a top international level and will have to meet FIA regulations. So we introduce those stringent criteria right at the start of the competition. We make sure they have no significant medical problems, that they're not on medication, because again, we're rolling doping control out. We check them from a cardiovascular, respiratory point of view, make sure there's no gross neurological problem. Eyesight's obviously very important, and we will accept nothing other than 20/20 vision. Whether it is corrected with lenses or glasses is not a problem. It's quite stressful for a lot of these competitors because they've never had medicals before, and there's an awful lot of undiagnosed conditions, and if they've never had the need to go to a doctor, we might be picking up colour blindness, for example, for the first time ever. And then finally, we also test their urine to make sure that there's no underlying hidden conditions.
For the competitors who've made it through the Wadi Survival Challenge, their competitive edge is tested further in a series of head-to-head races on the Yas Marina drag strip. The two fastest qualifiers from each nation in the Survival Challenge are safe from elimination. They won't take part, whilst the remaining 4 will face off. The loser of each race.
This is the first event where it's properly head-to-head racing a car at speed.
Drag racing's great. They've got to control the adrenaline, they've got to control the breathing and make a brilliant start. So it's all about controlling what they do inside the car and getting a good reaction time.
And then literally when the orange lights come on, they've got 0.25 of a second before the lights go green. So getting that perfect start, getting across that quarter-mile finish line in the shortest time possible, obviously, but it's absolute 100% focus.
The second element is just driving technically beautifully. If they spin the wheels excessively, they're going home. If they miss second gear, they're going home. If they get cocky and think, oh, great start, they'll miss third gear. They're going home.
To me, this is the most brutal event of the competition. You get one practice and then bang, you're in a race up against one of your teammates.
It's one chance alone that rides you out of the competition. Immense pressure on the guys, and some of them are cracking. It's difficult, but at the end of the day, it's challenging you. Reactions, big pressure. You've got to handle the pressure in motorsport, and also concentration. Make sure you get that shift perfect. There's only a couple of shifts to do, and as long as you nail those and control the throttle at the same time, then you should be a happy bunny tonight.
The Italians are the final market that are going through the drag racing exercise, and clearly the anticipation has been mounting, the pressure has been building, and that's another element that they've got to cope with.
I think it's better to do it first, because when you are the last one, it's always get more pressure, so it's going to be tough, I think.
They want this thing a lot, and this makes them really nervous. So what I try to do is to make them breathe, just to keep calm and try to do it as no one is watching and them, as just if they are at home doing the start at their PlayStation.
In the final head-to-head race of the day, Edoardo Perozzi takes on Michele Onis from Italy.
So the guys are moving forward into what's called pre-stage and then stage. So you'll see some yellow lights coming on what's termed the Christmas tree. When both cars are perfectly aligned, you'll get 3 orange lights come on, and then just after quarter of a second, green, and they'll be off. Just wait for the orange.
Michele has a poor start, too much throttle. He spins the wheels away from the line. Eduardo pulls away from him, and as Michele attempts to catch up, he misses a vital gear change. He crosses the line over 3 seconds behind the winning car. His dream of winning GT Academy is over.
The emotion that comes out afterwards when you're sat in the car alongside them is incredible. You then realise how much it means to them when they've won or they've lost.
Unfortunately, there is a loser and a winner. I've lost 2 of my guys in the team, and of course now I'm sorry about them. At the same time, I'm really proud of the 2 who made it.
Well, he made a mistake. He missed second gear. He knows he did.
The mental situation, it's quite important. For sure he was feeling much more the pressure compared to the other guy. It's so easy. It's probably one of the moments where it's easiest to make mistakes because you're full of adrenaline and you just have to make everything perfect and smooth. That's the hardest thing. I think that he was too much under pressure and he couldn't really control himself.
After these 2 challenges, only 28 of the competitors with the psychological strength to be a pro driver have survived. Join us next week when we find out how the game has developed their racecraft and finesse, their on-track abilities.